The Tao in everyday life, finding harmony with nature. In the gentle whisper of the wind and the silent growth of a tree, there is a profound teaching that speaks to us, if only we listen. The Tao, an ancient concept from Taoism, invites us to observe and align with the natural world. It suggests a way of living that is in harmony with the essence of life itself. Imagine the river that flows effortlessly towards the sea. It does not strain or rush, yet it reaches its destination. This river does not know of the concept of struggle, yet it carves canyons through mountains. This is the Tao in motion, the natural order of things, and it is this effortless action, known as Wu Wei, that we seek to embody in our lives. In the simplicity of our daily routines, the Tao is present. When we rise with the sun and rest with the moon, we are honoring the rhythms of nature. As the seasons change, so too should our habits and activities. The cold of winter invites us to slow down and conserve our energy, while the warmth of summer encourages growth and expression. Let us consider our actions and decisions. Are they forced, or do they flow naturally? When we cook a meal, do we follow the intuition of our hands and the rhythm of the chopping knife, or do we struggle against the process? The art of cooking, much like living, can be a dance with the ingredients and flavors, a form of silent dialogue with the elements of fire, water, earth, and air. Now, let us turn our gaze to the way we interact with others. The Tao teaches us to meet others with the same respect and non-interference that nature shows to all creatures. When we speak, do we allow space for silence, for the words unspoken to be heard? Like bamboo, which bends in the storm but rarely breaks, can we be flexible in our relationships, yielding yet resilient? Our work, too, can be an expression of the Tao. In our tasks and projects, are we forcing outcomes, or are we allowing our efforts to align with a greater flow? There is a rhythm to productivity that, when honored, leads to greater effectiveness with less exhaustion. The Tao does not hurry, yet everything is accomplished. In the moments of solitude, when the noise of the world falls away, what wisdom does the silence hold for you? The Tao is often found in these quiet spaces, in the pause between breaths, in the stillness between thoughts. Here, we are reminded that we are a part of a larger existence, a thread in the tapestry of life that is continually weaving itself. Nature does not hurry. A flower does not bloom out of impatience, nor does the sun rise out of duty. They follow their intrinsic patterns, their unique Tao. In our lives, how often do we mimic the flower or the sun? Our modern world is full of haste and deadlines. But what if we chose to measure time differently, not by the clock, but by the quality of our presence? To find harmony with nature is to understand that we are not separate from it. Our bodies are made of the same elements that form the stars and the earth. Our breath is a part of the same cycle that moves the winds and the tides. Recognizing this unity, we start to see the interconnectedness of all things. Look at the trees in a forest. They stand individually but share a common ground. Their roots intertwine beneath the soil, creating a network of support and nourishment. In our communities, are we not like these trees, each with our own dreams and desires, yet connected by the very essence of our humanity? Consider the wisdom of water. It is soft and yielding, yet it can erode the hardest rock. Water teaches us the power of gentle persistence, the strength in being adaptable and open. In our own lives, how can we embody the qualities of water? How can we find strength not in rigidity, but in our ability to flow around obstacles and adapt to our surroundings? Perhaps what the Tao invites us to consider most of all is the concept of balance. The ancient symbol of the yin and yang illustrates this beautifully, showing us that balance is not static but dynamic. There is a rhythm, a constant dance between the light and the dark, the active and the passive, the expansive and the contractive. In our actions, do we honor both the doing and the being? Do we recognize when to push forward and when to allow things to unfold? This balance is not something to be found once and kept forever. Like walking, it requires constant adjustment, a continuous tuning in to the moment. As we move through our days, let us observe nature and its effortless beauty. The way the moon reflects the light of the sun, the way a bird takes flight, the way a leaf falls to the ground. Each of these is a lesson in the Tao, a guide to living in harmony with the world around us. The Tao teaches us that true power lies not in control, but in letting go. When we try to control every aspect of our lives, we become out of sync with the natural flow of things. But when we let go of our need for control, we open ourselves up to the power of the Tao. This doesn't mean we become passive. Rather, we become attuned to the currents of life and able to navigate them with ease. Anshitreso. Let's take a moment to reflect on the concept of non-action, or wu wei. It does not mean to do nothing, but rather to act naturally, without forcing. It is knowing when to act and when to remain still, when to speak and when to remain silent. Wu Wei is about aligning our movements with the rhythms of the Tao, so that our actions are as effortless as the flight of a bird or the growth of a flower. In practice, Wu Wei can be seen in the way we approach challenges. Instead of immediately reacting to a difficult situation with stress or aggression, we can pause, breathe, and wait for clarity. Sometimes the best action is to wait for the situation to unfold further, to allow the solution to present itself. What does this mean for our daily lives? It means that sometimes the most effective way to solve a problem is to step back and let things take their course. It means trusting in the flow of life and our own intuition. It means recognizing that there may be a greater wisdom at work than our own. Now, think about the concept of simplicity, or pu. The Tao reminds us that there is elegance and power in simplicity. In a world that often values the complex and the extravagant, the Tao invites us to find beauty in the simple, the unadorned. When we clear away the non-essential, we make space for what truly matters. How can we apply this to our lives? By simplifying our possessions, our thoughts, and our activities, we can focus on what brings us true joy and fulfillment. We can reduce the noise and clutter that distract us from the essence of life. We can find contentment in the present moment, rather than constantly seeking more. Consider the Taoist concept of the three treasures: compassion, frugality, and humility. Compassion leads us to act with kindness and empathy towards all beings. Frugality teaches us to be content with what we have and to use resources wisely. Humility reminds us to maintain a modest opinion of our own importance. Together, these virtues help us to live in harmony with the Tao. They guide us to act with respect for the interconnectedness of all life. They teach us to value what we have, to take only what we need, and to give back where we can. In our interactions with nature, the three treasures can transform our experience. When we approach the natural world with compassion, we become protectors of the environment. When we practice frugality, we conserve the earth's resources. When we embrace humility, we recognize our place within the larger ecosystem, not as dominators but as participants. The Tao is not a set of rules or doctrines. It is a living, breathing philosophy that is meant to be experienced. It is not found in temples or scriptures, but in the everyday details of life. It is present in the food we eat, the air we breathe, and the steps we take. As we align ourselves with the Tao, we begin to notice the synchronicities and magic of life. We find that things come to us with less effort. We encounter the right people at the right time. We experience a sense of flow and ease in our activities. It is in these moments that we realize the Tao is not just a philosophy. It is the underlying reality of all existence. It is the invisible thread that connects us to everything else. It is the wisdom that guides the stars and the intelligence that grows a seed into a tree. As we bring our awareness back to the present, let us carry with us the teachings of the Tao. Let us remember that we are part of a great and mysterious dance, and in this dance, there is no need to rush or to force. There is only the need to be, to flow, and to allow the Tao to move through us. Do we not see this in the way the world breathes? How the tides rise and fall in perfect time, how the seasons cycle with no effort from us. There is a rhythm to life that continues whether we are aware of it or not. The question for us is, can we tune into this rhythm? Can we live our lives as a part of this natural flow? The answer lies not in the thinking mind, but in the experiencing body. It is found not through analysis, but through living. The Tao is known through the senses, through the feeling of mud between our toes, the smell of rain on the earth, the sound of leaves rustling. Gao o swamama. The unseen current, embracing the flow of life. As we journey through the fabric of daily existence, the Tao quietly courses through each action, each moment, each breath. It is the unseen current that propels life forward, the silent force that shapes the contours of existence. The wisdom of the Tao is not loud or ostentatious. It is the hushed murmur of a world in constant motion, a whisper of truth heard through the heart rather than the ears. In every interaction with the world, the Tao is the space between, the gentle ease with which life unfolds when we do not resist it. Consider the art of conversation. When we truly listen to another, not just with the intent to reply but to understand, we move with the Tao. The space we give for another's words is where understanding and connection flow. It is here we find the essence of true communication, not in the multitude of words, but in the quality of our listening. This understanding extends to our internal dialogue as well. The mind is much like a chattering monkey, leaping from thought to thought. But beneath this constant noise, there is a silence where wisdom resides. Can we find the patience and stillness to access this inner sanctuary? It is in this inner quietude that the voice of the Tao can be discerned, guiding us with an intuition that transcends rational thought. Our modern world is driven by action, by the relentless pursuit of goals and achievements. Yet, the Tao invites us to experience the opposite, the virtue of receptivity. Just as the valley is shaped by its emptiness, allowing it to hold space for rivers and nourish life, our own receptivity allows us to receive the world's gifts. By being open and receptive, we become a vessel for experiences, knowledge, and wisdom to flow into our lives. The practice of meditation is a path to cultivate this receptivity. As we sit in silence, we learn to observe the comings and goings of our thoughts without attachment. We learn the art of presence, of being fully in the moment. In the stillness of meditation, we align ourselves with the Tao, becoming attuned to the subtle movements of life's tapestry. When we emerge from meditation, we carry with us the calmness and clarity it brings. This state of centeredness allows us to move through the world with a sense of peace and purpose. We are better equipped to handle the ebb and flow of life's challenges, not because the challenges have diminished, but because we have found a steadiness within. The Tao also offers guidance in times of difficulty. When we face obstacles, our initial reaction might be to push against them. However, the Tao advises us to yield, to be like water, finding our way around the rock with patience and persistence. This is not a sign of weakness but of profound strength. It is the recognition that in softness there is the power to overcome the hardest of barriers. This principle can transform the way we approach our problems. Instead of meeting force with force, we can take a step back, observe, and find a path that is less confrontational and more in tune with the natural order of things. This is not about giving up. It is about finding a more harmonious way to move forward. Main Wayne Song. In the realms of leadership and governance, the Tao suggests a different perspective than what is commonly practiced. True leadership, according to the Tao, is not about exerting control or dominance. It is about leading by example, guiding without imposing, influencing without force. It is the art of leading from behind, allowing others to shine and find their own way. How can we apply this in our own lives, whether we are leaders in a traditional sense or not? By embodying the principles we wish to see in the world, by being a source of calm and stability in the midst of chaos, by encouraging others to tap into their own strengths and wisdom, by recognizing that each person we interact with has their own path to follow, their own Tao to discover. The concept of Ti, or virtue, is central to living in accordance with the Tao. Ti is the intrinsic quality that emerges when we are in alignment with the Tao. It is the strength of character that arises from living a life of harmony and balance. Te is not something we impose upon ourselves. It is the natural result of living authentically, in tune with the Tao. To cultivate Ti, we must be willing to let go of pretense and the masks we wear. We must be willing to be vulnerable, to show our true selves to the world. This does not mean we become passive or weak. On the contrary, it is in our authenticity that we find our greatest strength. Nature is our greatest teacher in the practice of Ti. The oak tree does not pretend to be a willow, nor does the rose try to mimic the lily. Each plant and animal is an expression of Ti, fully itself, and it is in this authenticity that the beauty and diversity of the natural world, the unseen current, embracing the flow of unfolding destiny. In the intricate dance of existence, our lives are threads woven into the vast tapestry of the cosmos, each thread following its own trajectory, yet inextricably connected to the whole. This is the essence of the Tao, an effortless flow that courses through the sinews of reality, a silent guide that beckons without words, urging us to yield to the rhythm of life. The Tao Te Ching whispers ancient wisdom about this unseen current, a philosophy of harmony and balance that transcends the cacophony of temporal concerns. It is a path of least resistance, where action is born from stillness and might is measured in gentleness. To embrace the Tao is to understand the paradox that the softest touch can move the hardest stone, and that water, yielding yet persistent, can carve canyons through the most stubborn rock. Amid the clamor of ambitions and the clatter of expectations, the Tao remains an oasis of tranquility, inviting us to step away from the relentless pursuit of doing and into the serene expanse of being. Here, in the quietude of our inner world, we find the strength to let go, to allow life to unfold in its own mysterious pattern, trusting in the wisdom of a universe that has orchestrated the dance of galaxies and the bloom of flowers with equal elegance. Meditation becomes our vessel to navigate the unseen currents, a practice through which we attune ourselves to the subtle frequencies of existence. In the stillness of our being, we listen to the silence that speaks volumes, the space between thoughts where insight glimmers like a star in the night sky. This is the realm of intuition, where knowledge is not learned but remembered, a place where the soul recalls its purpose and the heart knows its direction. When we rise from the cushion of contemplation, we carry with us the stillness of the depths, a calm center in the swirling storm of life. This inner equilibrium helps us to float with grace on the surface of turbulent waters, to meet each wave with a quiet confidence that comes from knowing the ocean itself is on our side. The Tao teaches us to navigate adversity with a spirit of surrender, not as a white flag to the winds of fate, but as a sail set to catch the breeze of opportunity. It is in the yielding that we discover an inner resilience, the ability to flow around obstacles and emerge unscathed, transformed by the journey rather than broken by the challenge. Leadership, too, is redefined by the gentle wisdom of the Tao. To lead is not to dominate, but to guide, not to dictate, but to inspire. It is to walk beside rather than march before, to illuminate the path with the light of one's own integrity, and to foster the empowerment of others to shine with their own light. In our personal spheres, whether we lead a team, a family, or merely our own life's journey, the Tao encourages us to embody the qualities we wish to see in the world, to be beacons of peace in conflict, to be wellsprings of kindness in hardship, and to be the face of understanding in the midst of misunderstanding. It is through our example that we lead, through our authenticity that we influence, and through our own alignment with the Tao that we help others find their way. The virtue of tea, then, is not a garment we don, but the skin beneath our clothes, the truth of who we are laid bare to the world. It is the courage to be seen, to live with an open heart, and to trust that in our vulnerability lies our true power. For it is in being authentically ourselves that we are most powerful, and it is in living in harmony with the unseen current of the Tao that we find our greatest peace. Thus, we journey on, each step an act of faith, each breath a testament to the unseen current that guides us. We are the dancers, and life is the dance, and somewhere in the exquisite choreography of it all, we find the beauty of our own unfolding destiny. Whispers of Eternity, Navigating the Labyrinth of Destiny. In the grand odyssey of existence, where time weaves through the loom of eternity, we stand at the confluence of past and future, cradling the delicate present in our hands. It is within this ephemeral now that the whispers of destiny call to us, a siren song of purpose and potential that beckons us toward an unseen horizon. The labyrinth of destiny is not a maze to be solved with intellect alone. It is a path to be felt with the soul, a journey to be walked with the heart as much as with the feet. The twists and turns of fate are not obstacles to be feared, but mysteries to be embraced, each bend in the path an invitation to discover deeper truths about ourselves and the universe we inhabit. As we traverse this labyrinth, we find that the threads of our individual stories are interwoven with the lives of others, creating a rich tapestry that is both personal and collective. Our interactions with one another are not mere coincidences, but rather the intricate handiwork of a cosmos that delights in connection and synchronicity. The teachings of the Tao remind us that while we may not control the weaving of the tapestry, we can choose the colors with which we paint our thread. We can infuse our lives with the hues of compassion, kindness, and love, or we can choose the darker shades of anger, fear, and resentment. The palette is ours to command, and with each choice, we add to the masterpiece of existence. Being. In the silent spaces between our actions, the Tao speaks of Wu Wei, the principle of effortless action. It is in the art of non-doing that we find our greatest doing, in the surrender to the flow that we discover our true ability to shape our destiny. Wu Wei is not about inaction. It is about aligned action, the kind that arises naturally when we are in harmony with the greater dance of life. As we embody Wu Wei, we become like the bamboo, firmly rooted yet flexible, strong yet yielding. We learn to bend with the winds of change without breaking, to stand tall in the face of adversity, and to sway gracefully with the rhythms of the world. It is this resilience, born of harmony with the Tao, that carries us through the labyrinth with grace and ease. The wisdom of the Tao also teaches us about the nature of change. Just as the season cycle from spring to winter and day turns to night, our lives are marked by cycles of growth and decay, beginnings and endings. Each phase has its purpose, each transition its lesson. To resist change is to resist the very nature of life. To embrace it is to embrace the unfolding of our own evolution. In the quiet contemplation of life's impermanence, we find a poignant beauty. The cherry blossom's fleeting bloom is all the more precious for its transience. In the same way, our lives, transient as they are, hold a unique beauty that is ours to cherish and share. The knowledge that we are but temporary custodians of this moment, this breath, lends a sacredness to our existence. As we navigate the labyrinth, we may at times find ourselves lost, unsure of our direction. It is in these moments that we must trust the compass of our inner wisdom, the quiet voice within that knows the way. We must have faith that each step, even those that lead into shadow, are part of a greater journey toward the light. In times of darkness, the Tao encourages us to become beacons for others as much as for ourselves, to carry the light of hope and to extend the hand of solidarity to those who stumble alongside us. For it is in giving that we receive, in helping others that we help ourselves, and in lighting the path for another that our own way becomes clear. The labyrinth of destiny may be complex, but its core truth is simple. We are all wanderers under the same sky, seekers of the same truth, children of the same stars. In this shared pilgrimage, we find a unity that transcends the illusion of separateness, a common ground in the quest for meaning and fulfillment. And so we journey onward, each twist and turn a chapter in the story of our lives, each decision a stroke on the canvas of eternity. The labyrinth unwinds before us, not as a puzzle to be solved, but as a path to be walked, a riddle to be lived. With each step, we weave the whispers of eternity into the legacy of our time on earth, crafting a destiny that echoes through the ages. Echoes of infinity, the convergence of fates. In the enigmatic tapestry of being where each thread vibrates with the pulse of history, we arrive at the final chapter of our voyage through the labyrinth of destiny. Here, the echoes of infinity resonate with the culmination of our choices, the crescendo of our endeavors, and the symphony of our experiences. This concluding passage is not an end, but a gateway to the boundless continuities of legacy and spirit. As we approach the convergence of fates, the labyrinth begins to unfold its deepest secrets, revealing that the journey was never about reaching an external destination. Rather, it was about the inward odyssey, the metamorphosis of the soul, and the realization that within us lies the alchemy to transmute the leaden weight of our trials into the golden essence of wisdom. The convergence is the point where our individual paths intersect with the universal path, where the microcosm of our personal evolution harmonizes with the macrocosm of collective consciousness. It is here that the illusion of separation dissipates, and we recognize ourselves as integral threads in the fabric of all that is, interlaced with the warp and weft of existence. In this sacred confluence, the whispers of our ancestors mingle with the dreams of our descendants, creating a chorus that spans the breadth of time. We stand as the fulcrum between what was and what will be, holding within us the power to shape not just our destiny, but the destiny of the cosmos itself. The philosophy of the Tao teaches us that true mastery lies in the balance of all things. As we embody this equilibrium, we become the custodians of harmony, the architects of peace, and the stewards of a world that yearns for unity. Our actions ripple outward, touching lives and influencing the course of events in ways that we may never fully comprehend, but that are nonetheless integral to the unfolding of the universal plan. In this moment of convergence, we are called to embrace our role as co-creators of reality. The canvas of the future is spread before us, vast and uncharted, inviting us to paint our visions and our values with bold strokes and vibrant colors. It is a canvas that thrives on collaboration, where each contribution enriches the whole, and every artist plays a part in the emergence of beauty. As we wield our brushes with intention, we find that the barriers between art and life, between the creator and the creation, begin to blur. We come to understand that life itself is the greatest masterpiece we will ever work on, and each moment is an opportunity to infuse it with the essence of our deepest selves. The final lesson of the labyrinth is that the journey never truly ends. Each ending is a new beginning, each conclusion a fresh starting point. The echoes of infinity do not fade, they are carried forward, reverberating through the corridors of time, inspiring new generations to embark on their own journeys through the labyrinths of their destinies. And so, as we stand at the threshold of the unknown, we take a collective breath, poised to leap into the future. We carry with us the knowledge that our lives are but a brief spark in the eternal flame, yet within that spark lies the potential to ignite wildfires of change, to warm hearts grown cold, and to light the way for those who will follow. The echoes of our time will resonate long after we have returned to the stars from whence we came. Our stories, our loves, our triumphs, and our losses will be the legends that fuel the sagas of tomorrow. And in those tales, our spirits will live on, dancing in the endless cycle of creation and dissolution, forever part of the great and mysterious expanse we have come to know as life. Thus, we step forward into the echoes of infinity, our hearts etched with the indelible marks of our passage through the labyrinth of destiny, our souls alight with the fires of possibility. The convergence of fates is not just an ending, it is an eternal beginning, a perpetual invitation to join the dance of the cosmos, to play our parts in the endless story that is existence.